else.
Would everyone stand and we'll recite the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Educational Services Center for tonight's special meeting of the Penn-Harris-Madison Board of School Trustees. I also want to take a moment and welcome anybody who's watching us and visiting this meeting through our live feed on our YouTube channel. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order at 7:06 p.m. The first thing we need to do is take a roll call of the members who are present tonight. I'll call the names of each member. Please indicate your presence by saying here. Mr. Beeler? Here. Mr. Fox? Here. Mrs. Galloway?
Here.
Mr. Garrett?
Here.
Mrs. Gates?
Here.
Mr. Woods?
Here.
I'm Mr. Riley. I too am present at the ESC. The first item on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Do board members have any additions or changes to the agenda for tonight's meeting? Hearing none, does the administration?
The administration has no changes.
Then do I have a motion to adopt the agenda for the Wednesday, September 30, 2020 special board meeting as presented?
I so move.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Beeler, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Fox, how do you vote? Aye. Mrs. Galloway, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Gates, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Garrett, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Woods, how do you vote?
Aye.
I am Mr. Riley. I vote aye. The motion carries unanimously by a vote of 7-0. We'll move on to our next business action item, which is presentation and request for approval of changes to the elementary in-person virtual concurrent teaching models. Dr. Thacker.
Thank you, President Riley, Board of Trustees. Welcome, everyone. We're delighted that you are here, and I am so glad to share some great information with you. We're very happy to share this good news with you tonight. After receiving valuable feedback from multiple stakeholders, we determined that some changes need to be made to ensure that all of our elementary students are educated at the level of excellence that we strive to achieve. Instead of asking our teachers at the elementary level to teach from face-to-face, both face-to-face and virtual learners every day, we're going to have teachers that are only responsible for one model or the other. Beginning Monday, October 12th, elementary teachers will teach either virtually or in person. Due to this, some students may have a change in their current classroom assignment. We understand this is a disruption. However, we believe that the adjustment period will create a more effective learning environment. So we're delighted to bring something that's going to be positive and sustainable to all of our students, all of our classrooms. And it's my privilege. We'll be making a recommendation to do this, and we'll follow the presentation from Dr. Short. And we'll have Mrs. Lisa Langfeld as well.
Good evening, President Riley, Dr. Thacker, and members of the board. I'm pleased to be here tonight to give you an overview of the plan that was designed in collaboration with our Teachers Association to address the concerns that surfaced related to teaching in a concurrent model. From what our teachers have shared, they believe that continuing to teach in a concurrent model is unsustainable. They have concerns with trying to focus on too many things at once. They believe a concentrated effort in one model or another would benefit all learners. And we also have parents who have echoed those same concerns. For all of those reasons listed, we are here this evening to describe the process for moving towards splitting classes where some teachers will teach virtually while others will be in the buildings teaching face-to-face. So while we know we have teachers at all grade levels who do amazing things for our students every day, let me take just a minute to describe why a concurrent model for elementary teachers is unique. At elementary, our classroom teachers teach all primary contents, including reading, writing, math, social studies, and science. When I reference the number of standards and indicators that elementary teachers are responsible for instructing from the Indiana Department of Education, it is over 150. Add to that, our youngest students often need the most direct assistance and developmentally are less independent with learning tasks. And that gives you a fairly good picture of why it may need to be a concerted effort in order to do both of those roles at once. As we look to the timeline that we are working on currently, this week, our principals are meeting with their teachers to determine who might be a good fit for a virtual section. In addition, our principals will be looking to create class lists of virtual learners. Early next week, families who are impacted by this potential change will be contacted, and families will hear from both the building principal and the classroom teacher. Since these class lists are being designed based on parent choice for their child either being virtual or face-to-face, it is quite important that we have a commitment through each semester in order to dedicate appropriate staffing. Based on the feedback from both the teachers and the board, our target date to begin these new sections is October 12th. As I mentioned, these sections are being created based on current parent choice for their learners. As of the data today, we will be creating approximately 37 virtual elementary sections. We have 5 in kindergarten, 6 in first grade, 7 in second grade, 7 in third grade, 6 in fourth grade, and 6 in fifth grade. While we know there may be initial anxiety for those who will be changing classroom teachers, we are undeniably able to rely on the professionalism of our classroom teachers to quickly build strong rapport and relationship with their new students. We are working to keep our in-person class sizes below target numbers so we can continue to focus on social distancing. Our virtual sections may have additional students in them. While we know that our teachers who are dedicated to virtual instruction will do an excellent job, we also are committed to ensuring that they have additional support. Providing sessions for virtual teachers will help them with instructional suggestions and effective virtual instruction. Having virtual teachers connected to building level teams will help them stay connected with the people who are teaching in their buildings. And finally, we are going to be creating virtual grade level PLCs, which stands for Professional Learning Communities, so that all of our teachers who are teaching the same grade level virtually will have the ability to co-create content and work with their peers in the same setting. Again, we are working to create dedicated virtual sections so that our teachers are able to channel their focus at the elementary level. I believe now Lisa Langfeld, President of the Penn-Harris-Madison Teachers Association, may have a few additional points to share from their perspective.
I promise I'll be short. The proposal before you is an effort to support elementary teachers who serve our youngest learners. The HMT believes that working collaboratively with administration is important, but especially now, and has been over the last few months. Our efforts are always directed to find ways to best support teachers so that they can instruct to the best of their ability. You've heard the cries of our teachers to implement change. Implementing 100% virtual teachers allows our youngest learners to have the full attention of their teacher. This option also serves the many parents that have been asking for changes. I've said to you many, many times, we need time. We need time to do things and do things well. I'd like to request teachers be given some time to make these changes. The role is going to take a little bit of time. As we move forward, I'd be remiss not to mention our middle school and high school teachers. These teachers, students, parents, and buildings all present their own sets of challenges. I have great faith that we can find solutions to allow middle school and high school teachers to remain in a safe environment and support them in the ways to best help them provide quality education and instruction.
Thank you, Mrs. Langfeld.
So if the board has any questions, I'm happy to answer anything that you may like to.
Dr. Short, we've discussed this. Obviously, the need to keep classroom sizes down for Title I schools is greater. Can you talk about the effect that this plan will have on our Title I schools?
Certainly. So yes, we are looking to see if we can create smaller sections at our Title I buildings. We also know that our Title I buildings have dedicated aides in them that will be helpful to virtual sections and also to in-person sections. So there will be a collaborative effort to make sure that we are addressing the needs of our Title I learners.
I guess in the face-to-face, now there is going to be some students have to change teachers in this process. Is that correct?
That is true.
But none of them are going to have to change schools. Is that correct or
That
not?
is true. For students who are choosing to remain face-to-face, they will stay in their home building, yes.
So I'm just very pleased that the administration and the leadership of our Teachers Association was able to work collaboratively and to come up with a solution for the elementary schools. We've all received the emails and we've heard Ms. Langfeld this evening. What's the strategy on continuing to work with our middle and high school teachers and everything that's going on in those buildings to come up with, are we trying to come up with some different solutions there as well?
And as we look at secondary students, grade 6 through grade 12, we're now in our second week. And so we're continuing to evaluate, and things are going great. We're getting positive feedback. We're really pleased with what's going on. We want to continue monitoring that. We want to make sure that we get a lot of feedback from teachers and the administration. We've asked the administrators to begin looking at when it's appropriate to go back 100% in person. When would be an appropriate, put together a timeline and the conditions in which they would have to do these things. But we're extremely pleased. We have about 30% of the students participating in a virtual environment at Penn High School, while about 20% at the middle schools. So those are factors, of course, and we're excited about looking forward to that. But we want to make sure, as Mrs. Langfeld said, look at time. We want to make sure that we do this right and we're highly successful and have the support of the teachers, and we want to make sure that that triangle with the students, teachers, and parents is alive and well. But we will be bringing something forth in the near future. We will be doing some kind of evaluation, assessment, survey prior to anything like that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thacker.
You're welcome.
You know what, Dr. Thacker, Dr. Short, I think back to when, we had a plan and then the St. Joe County health officials indicated that we couldn't go back to school. And so we changed that plan and immediately came up with a new plan based upon their recommendations. And I think the beauty of this from August going forward was the flexibility and how you put together a 4-week time for us to all kind of learn what virtual learning is. And then it's, at the second we could make the switch, we went to elementary, where we know we wanted to get elementary students back in as soon as possible. And I believe this plan that you're recommending today continues to allow the flexibility for us to get the elementary students, to have the 2 academies, and then to continue to move forward with the middle school and high school as we continue to look at it and maintain the flexibility to go forward. And I just think the effort that you guys had to put in to constantly switch directions as facts and data changed, but kept Penn excellence, kept us flexible, allowed us to do things as quickly as we possibly could. I think it was a genius, and I think you guys did a great job, and I know you're going to continue to move forward in that direction, doing what's right for students and continue looking, adapting, and manipulating as you can to make it free. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Board members have any other questions or comments? I too am very pleased, Dr. Short. Thank you so much for the efforts that you put in to this plan. I know on at least a half dozen occasions, we have asked seemingly the impossible of you over the last 5 months, and we appreciate so much everything that you're doing to be flexible and to come back and to meet the needs of our teachers, our students, our parents, and our community at large. I just want to say thank you very much to Lisa Langfeld. Can't tell you how much it means to the board for a proposal to come before the board for consideration with the input of PHMTA. I appreciate you being at the table. I appreciate you working with your fellow colleagues to come forward with some actionable recommendations for us. We just want you to know how much we appreciate everything that you've done as well. Before we consider this recommendation for a vote. Is there anyone in attendance this evening who would like to address the board? Is there anyone who has registered online? I'm told that there is not. So then we'll move on to considering the recommendation of the administration. Do I have a motion to approve the recommended changes to the in-person and virtual concurrent teaching model, creating a dedicated face-to-face teachers and dedicated virtual teacher system as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Beeler, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Fox, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Galloway, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Gates, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Garrett, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Woods, how do you vote?
Aye.
I am Mr. Riley. I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously by a vote of 7-0. Move on to our next agenda item, which is announcements. Regular meeting of the Penn-Harris-Madison Board of School Trustees will convene on Monday, October the 12th, 2020 at 7 p.m. here at the Educational Services Center. Do I have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So moved.
Second.
We'll recognize Mr. Garrett with the motion and Mr. Beeler with the second. Mr. Beeler, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Fox, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Galloway, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Gates, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Garrett, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Woods, how do you vote?
Aye.
I'm Mr. Riley. I vote aye. That motion carries by a vote of 7-0, and the meeting is adjourned at 7:22 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight.